All right. Friends, total distance, what's it going to be? 147 and a half. We agree with that? Remember what it is? We've got to do... Hey. Anybody doing this? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially that's what you're doing, aren't you? When Frances said 147.5, I'm assuming what she did was she took 200 and subtracted the 52 and a half to figure out the overall rise. It's slope. It's the same slope formula you used since you were tiny. Yes! 200 feet minus 52 and a half feet, which ends up being, I'll put the equal sign down here, 147 and a half feet. Beautiful. It's okay if I use feet instead of FT. Fair enough. Doesn't do the spinal tap. Inches. No, feet. Good. Time. Ending time, 10.3. Go ahead, Francis.
5.3.
Good. Because the starting time was at 5 seconds. So it's in a lapse of 5.3 seconds. 5.3 seconds. So what's that end up being?
28 feet per second.
28 feet per second.
On average.
Good. Thank you. 28 feet per second on average between 5 seconds and 10.3. Real quick. Was it 28.3, Francis?
It was 27.83.
Oh, 27.8?
Yeah,
We'll get that precision.
Are you supposed to round up?
18, well, it's about 19 miles an hour. About 19 miles an hour right there. I'm using Google to do it real quickly for me. Because you have to do in order to do that conversion from feet per second to miles per hour, you got to convert feet to miles by the 5,280 conversion, and then you got to convert seconds to hours by the 60 times 60, 3,600. And this is what your next project is all about, FYI. I mean, going back and forth. I thought of you guys 2 days ago. Me and Max started putting our tadpole pond together. And part of that construction of that tadpole pond was using a problem in that project that talks about how big a pump we needed to figure out how much water to put over the waterfall. And I thought of you guys because the pump came in, I'm like, God, it looks perfect. Math works. Not that you ever doubted it, but it does work beautifully. All right, so, but now here's a question. Was I going 19 miles an hour at the 200-foot mark?
No.
But no. Remember, we're asking two different questions here. I averaged 19 miles an hour from 5 seconds to 10.3 seconds. But my original question was still, how fast was I going at the 200-foot mark, yes? So in other words, how fast was I going at 10.3 seconds? Good, and Carrie's like, yes, that was his original question. So here's a question I have for you. Let's do one more together. Swing back to the front here.